The Watcher of Westfield, New Jersey. Year: 2014. Just days after buying their dream home in an upscale New Jersey neighborhood, the Broaddus family started receiving terrifying anonymous letters. The writer, who called themselves the Watcher, claimed to be watching the house and its new inhabitants, especially their children. The letters referenced specific details about the house and its layout, things that only someone nearby would know. The Watcher wrote things like, "Greater than, I am pleased to know your names. Now in the name of the young blood you have brought to me." The family never moved in out of fear. Despite police investigations and private detectives, the Watcher was never caught. The house eventually sold years later, at a loss. To this day, no one knows who the Watcher was. 2. The Silent Roommate. Location: University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Year: 2013. College student Maddie had been noticing strange things in her apartment. Clothes going missing, doors left open, and eerie creaks at night. She and her roommate thought it was a ghost or maybe just forgetfulness, until one day, Maddie opened a closet and found a man crouching inside, wearing her clothes. It turned out the man, later identified as Andrew Swafford, had been living in their closet for weeks, sneaking out only when they were gone. He was mentally unstable and had been stealing from them and watching them sleep. Thankfully, he didn't harm anyone, but the psychological damage was lasting. 3. The Mysterious Disappearance of Elisa Lam. Location: Cecil Hotel, Los Angeles. Year: 2013. Elisa Lam, a Canadian college student, was staying at the notorious Cecil Hotel in LA when she disappeared. Days later, guests began complaining about water pressure and a strange taste from the tap. Hotel staff investigated, and found her body in the rooftop water tank. Even more disturbing was the elevator footage released by police. It showed Elisa acting erratically, pressing multiple buttons, hiding in the elevator, gesturing as if talking to someone unseen. No one could explain her behavior. The official cause of death was ruled accidental drowning, but many questions remain. How did she access the locked water tanks? Was someone chasing her, or was it something more supernatural? Would you like these rewritten in a campfire storytelling style or expanded into a script, podcast format, or video narration? Absolutely. Here are 3 more true scary stories that are just as chilling and unsettling. 4. The Smiling Man. Seattle, Washington. Year: 2012. Source: Reddit post by user blue_title. A man was walking home late at night, around 2 a.m. when he saw someone in the distance. As he got closer, he noticed the man was dancing, not casually, but with exaggerated, strange movements. He was dressed in a suit, and had an unnatural smile stretched across his face. Trying to avoid him, the witness crossed the street, but the smiling man stopped dancing and began following him, mimicking his pace. When the witness ran, so did the man, never breaking that unnerving grin. Eventually, the witness made it home safely and the man vanished. Others have since reported similar encounters with eerily grinning strangers late at night. The Greenbrier Ghost. Location: Greenbrier County, West Virginia. Year: 1897. Zona Heaster was found dead in her home under mysterious circumstances. Her husband claimed she died of everlasting faint, but her mother didn't buy it. Weeks later, her mother claimed Zona's ghost appeared to her in a dream, describing how her husband had strangled her in a fit of rage. The mother convinced the authorities to exhume the body, and sure enough, Zona's neck had been broken. This ghost testimony was so persuasive that her husband, Edward Shue, was convicted of murder. It's the only case in U.S. history where a ghost's account was part of the evidence in a trial. The Disappearance of Brandon Swanson. Location: Minnesota. Year: 2008. Brandon Swanson, 19, was driving home late at night when he crashed into a ditch. He called his parents and asked them to pick him up, explaining he saw lights in the distance and would walk toward them. His parents stayed on the phone with him for nearly an hour as he walked. Suddenly, he yelled, "Oh, S***," and the line went dead. He was never seen or heard from again. Despite extensive searches, dogs, and helicopters, no trace of Brandon was ever found. His last known location didn't match where he said he was. To this day, no one knows what he saw or what happened in that final moment. Want even more? I can keep going with modern unsolved cases, haunted house experiences, or real-life survival horror stories. Let me know your preferred theme. You're into the deep, chilling kind. I've got you. Here are 3 more true scary stories that will stick with you long after you read them. The death of Kenny Veach, the M Cave mystery. Location: Nevada desert. Year: 2014. Kenny Veach was an experienced hiker and YouTuber who posted a video claiming he had found a mysterious cave shaped like a perfect M while hiking near Area 51. He said when he got close, his entire body began to vibrate and he felt overwhelming fear. He turned back. After commenters dared him to return, Kenny set out again, this time with a gun. He never came back. Days later, his phone was found near an abandoned mine shaft, but no trace of Kenny was ever discovered. Some speculate he stumbled on something he wasn't supposed to find. Others think something supernatural or psychological led to his fate. Either way, the M Cave has never been found again. The ghost in the baby monitor. Chicago, Illinois. Year: 2005. A young couple had just brought their newborn home and set up a baby monitor. One night, they were woken up by soft whispers coming through the monitor, but no one was in the room. Then, one night, they heard a man's voice say, "You're so pretty." They rushed into the nursery. The baby was safe, but alone. After changing frequencies, the voice returned weeks later. It turned out, someone nearby was likely hacking into the monitor feed, watching and speaking through it. Police couldn't trace the signal. The couple moved, and never used a monitor again. The clown statue. Newport Beach, California. Urban legend with reported incidents. A babysitter was watching 2 kids while the parents were out. At some point, she called the parents to ask if she could cover up the creepy clown statue in the living room. It was unnerving, and the kids were scared of it too. The parents went silent and said, "Greater than, we don't have a clown statue. Get the kids and leave the house. Call 911. The police arrived and discovered a man, dressed as a clown, had been living in the house, hiding in the attic, and watching the children at night. While this story has urban legend elements, similar real cases exist where intruders secretly lived in attics or basements for weeks, or even months, without being noticed. Want more in a certain style? I can go darker, more paranormal, or true crime centered. Or I can expand one of these into a full retelling. You've got a taste for the truly unsettling. Let's go deeper. Here are 3 more terrifying true stories, each one with a different flavor of horror. Isolation, intrusion, and the unexplained. The Dyatlov Pass incident. Location: Ural Mountains, Russia. Year: 1959. 9 experienced hikers vanished in the snowy wilderness. Their tent was later found ripped open from the inside, with their belongings left behind. Some bodies were found in their underwear, barefoot in the snow. Others had fatal internal injuries. One had a crushed skull, another was missing her tongue, yet there were no signs of struggle or external trauma. Strangely, their clothes had traces of radioactive material. The official cause: an unknown compelling force. To this day, it remains one of the most disturbing wilderness mysteries in history. The Bedroom Creeper. Location: Los Angeles, California. Year: 2011. A woman began noticing small things missing: socks, food, her favorite shampoo. She chalked it up to forgetfulness or maybe her boyfriend using them. But one night, she came home early, heard a thump, and saw a man's leg disappearing into the attic. Police later found a homeless man living in the crawlspace above her bedroom. He had been up there for weeks, sneaking out while she slept to eat, bathe, and even watch her. He kept a journal documenting her every move. The Vanishing Hotel Room. Location: Paris, France. Year: 1889, based on early reports and retellings. A woman and her mother checked into a Paris hotel during the World's Fair. The mother fell ill, so the daughter went out to get medicine. When she returned, her mother was gone, and the hotel staff claimed they had never seen either of them before. The daughter insisted they'd stayed in a specific room, but it now had different wallpaper and furniture. Even her name was missing from the guest book. Years later, it was speculated that the mother may have died of an infectious disease, and the hotel erased all evidence to avoid bad publicity. While its authenticity is debated, variations of this story have been reported across countries. Always the same eerie vanishing, and the haunting gaslighting that follows. Want to keep going? I can drop 3 more. Or shift to haunted asylums, unsolved crimes, or real-life stalker tales. Let me know the vibe you're after. You've got it. We're diving even deeper. Here are 3 more real-life horror stories, each one bizarre, disturbing, and unforgettable. The Silent Twins. Location: Wales, United Kingdom. Years active: 1960s-1990s. June and Jennifer Gibbons were identical twins who refused to speak to anyone but each other. Even then, their communication was in a private, coded language. Their bond became obsessive. They mirrored each other's every move, and when one stopped breathing, the other did too. Eventually, they turned to crime, arson, theft, and were institutionalized in a high-security psychiatric hospital. While there, they told staff that one of them would have to die for the other to be free. In 1993, Jennifer suddenly died of unexplained heart inflammation. Hours before, she had told June, "I'm going to have to die now." Autopsy showed no poison, no trauma, no disease. After Jennifer's death, June began to speak normally. It was as if her sister's death truly released her. The Boy in the Chimney. Location: Boulder, Colorado. Year: 2008. Body discovered. In 2015, a maintenance worker discovered a skeleton in the chimney of a cabin. The body belonged to J. Oshua Maddox, a teenager who had vanished in 2008. He was found with his knees above his head, his clothes neatly folded next to the fireplace. Inside, at first, it was considered accidental, like he had gotten stuck trying to enter. But there were holes in the theory. The chimney had a rebar grate at the top. His shoes were inside the house. No one could explain how or why he'd go in from the roof. Some suspect foul play. One theory involves a man with a violent past who allegedly confessed to a friend about putting a guy in a chimney. But the case remains unsolved. The Man Who Lived in the Walls. Denver, Colorado. Year: 1987. A man named Theodore Edward Coneys, later known as the Denver Spider-Man, committed one of the most unsettling crimes ever. Coneys was homeless and knew of an old acquaintance who lived alone. He snuck into the man's house, discovered a tiny attic crawlspace, and moved in, completely undetected. He would sneak down when the man left, eat his food, and sneak back up. One day, the homeowner caught him. Coneys panicked and bludgeoned him to death, then continued living in the attic with the body below for months. He was only caught when police, baffled by the locked doors and no signs of forced entry, heard a noise in the attic and opened the hatch. Coneys was there, pale, thin, and silent. You want more of these? I've got a vault full of them. True crime, paranormal, stalkers, haunted places, disappearances. Just say the word. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.